What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative, where today I am going to do a tag video. I saw this one over on my friend's channel, Novel Idea. I will put a link down in the description below to her version of this tag, but it's called the Think Twice book tag. This tag, as you can probably tell from its title, Think Twice, features books that are all about doubles, pairs, or things that appear twice. Now, the original creators for this tag are AJ Dunn Reads and Writes, as well as Bookworm Adventure Girl. I will, of course, link their channels as well as the original version of this tag, but let's get into these prompts. And I will admit, some of these prompts stumped me for quite a while. One in particular, I'm pretty sure took me over an hour of just going through my books one by one on my bookshelves. And where is my mobile device? Where's my phone? Well, excuse me for a moment while I go try and figure out where I have left it this time. Now, I've got my phone, I've got the books pulled for the prompts. Let's jump into this one. And real quick, if you're interested in doing this tag, I'll have the prompts listed down below for you as well. Prompt number 1, Double Vision, a book that features twins. I did not even have to think about this one, not even half a second. I went with Middle Game by Shauna McGuire. It features several sets of twins, but of course the main characters, Roger and Dodger, are absolutely one of my favorite sets to read about and reread about and reread about. Just pulling the book off my shelf and holding it makes me want to reread this book again. Prompt number 2 is Double Talk, a book with two or twice in the title. The one that I selected, again, came to mind immediately when I read this list of prompts, is The Two-Faced Queen by Nick Martell. I read this entire trilogy last year, absolutely loved it. I loved it so much, I honestly could have immediately started a reread. The third prompt is the one that gave me the most trouble, took me the most time to find a book for, and that one's called Seeing Double, a book with a reflection, shadow, or mirror image on the front cover. After slowly poring over my shelves 3 or 4 times, I went through Goodreads looking at all the covers, I settled on The Shadow of the Wind, where if you look closely on the cover, you see the character's shadow right here. That was as good as it was going to get for me. The next prompt is called Take 2, and this one is to feature 2 book covers that look similar, but they are by different authors. This was another prompt that took me quite a bit of time looking and researching, and I finally decided on Waking Ursa Minor by Helen Rye Peterson and Ledge by Stacey McEwen. I don't have Ledge in a physical format. Well, I do. I have the ARC, which is just a blank cover with writing on it. It doesn't show this beautiful cover, which I'm definitely going to be adding to my collection very soon because book 2 is coming out this year. I digress. Let's get back to it. So these 2 covers are both cover buys for me. I actually asked for the ARCs for both of these books because of the covers. So apparently I like frozen looking landscapes, even though I would never want to live in one. The next prompt is called I Second That, and this is a retelling. I'm gonna go with one that I read and loved in recent months. That is The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. This is a retelling of the Chinese moon goddess Shang-Yi. Really, it is about her daughter, but we get a lot about Shang-Yi and her husband Hu Yi, and it's so good. Prompt number 6. 2 can play at that game. A character who plays 2 roles or has an alter ego. Again, my brain instantly goes to one of my favorite characters of all time, and this should come as to no surprises anyone. That is Logan Ninefingers, which we meet on the first page in chapter 1 of The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. I will give you no more details other than that because the duality of Logan's character is one you really should experience for yourself. Absolutely loved it. If there was ever a series I wish I could experience again for the first time, it is all of the First Law books, hands down. Prompt number 7, It Takes Two, which is a duology. I could have reused The Daughter of the Moon Goddess because that is the first book in the Celestial Kingdom duology, but I wanted to feature another duology that I read and loved last year, which is The Quest for Heroes by Stephen Aryan. The copies that I have here are the special limited signed edition that The Broken Binding put out last year. Absolutely love these books. I cannot wait to reread this series again with these beautiful, gorgeous copies. Highly recommend this series. Which I should also mention, I will put my website down in the description below where all of my written reviews are. And I do have dedicated video reviews for a lot of these books, which I will include in the cards and in the description box below if you would like to hear more about these books that I love. Moving on to the next prompt, which is called On the Double. A book told in 2 timelines. For this one, I chose The Violin Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. This is a debut novel that was absolutely amazing. The Wine and Crime Book Club voted for this one. I believe we read it in November. It was an amazing book. Brendan has another one coming out in April 2023. I am so on board for that one. But our main character, Ray McMillan, we open up with the theft of his Stradivarius violin, which has an insured worth of $10 million. It gets stolen. And then the story switches to Ray's past, so we see how he came to get the violin, how much it meant to him, and all of that fun stuff. So the story flips between Ray's timeline as a kid when he got into playing music, and then the current where the mystery is. Prompt number 9 is A Perfect Pair, which is the last 2 books you gave 5 stars to. I just realized that I misread this prompt because I only looked up what my last 5-star read was, which is Dreams of Dust by Lily Ann Crow. If you are a fantasy lover, if you love the quest trope, found family, this book is for you. I immediately purchased the second book in the series as soon as I finished reading that one, and I'm just pulling up my Goodreads here to see what my next 5-star read was. So there we go. That is Never Finished by David Goggins. This is a nonfiction book that continues his story after his first debut novel, Can't Hurt Me. David Goggins has an interesting life. I love to read about it. I love hearing about it. He also does some crazy things, and I would not agree with 95% of the way that he prepares for the endurance races that he is always signing up for. But the way that he talks about his mindset, the way that he trains his mind, and just the inner workings and how hard he works is just fascinating to read about. And I wouldn't call this self-help. I would just call it self-improvement. It's just improving upon yourself, if that makes any type of sense. Moving on to prompt number 10. 2 for the Show, a book that has been adapted to film 2 or more times. I cheated. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just bought this book when I went home for Christmas. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This story has actually been adapted many more times than 2. I mean, if you Google it, you're gonna get a whole list of stuff and just how they continue the story. The most recent, I want to say, is the Johnny Depp version. I could be wrong. There could be more recent ones. I don't watch TV that much, but this is a favorite childhood classic story that I have read many, many times, and so I wanted to collect that beautiful edition from Barnes & Noble. Prompt number 11. Two's Company, a book with 2 or more authors or a translated fiction book. The one that I chose, that is The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. M.A. Carrick is the writing duo Marie Brennan and Alec Helms, and I love this story, and I probably pronounced both of their names wrong, and I am terribly sorry. This is one of my favorite series. I think we're gonna get the 3rd book later this year. I cannot wait. This is a really great fantasy series that involves a lot of political scheming, a very complex society. It has a very Venetian style. It's a big, long con. Oh, it's so good. And the final prompt for this tag is double take. Recommend 2 books you think would pair well together and tell us why. My 2 books that I chose are The Chaos Principle by Nathan Johnson and H.D. Kirkland III's Drop. The reason why are these are both thought experiments. They're going to make you use your head. They're skinny books, but they're going to take you several days to read. Go into it with that expectation that they're not fast reads. They make you think. You're going to want to put both of these books down several times while you're reading it, just to let your imagination run wild with what you've been given from either something that happened in the plot or just something that these characters are thinking in their inner monologue, the things that they're thinking and questioning. At times, they both feel like a fever dream, or perhaps you're on some kind of hallucinogenic, but the thing is, they're very philosophical. They're gonna have you thinking about your life. What are you looking for out of life? What is the meaning? What are you working toward? Where are we headed towards as a society, as a race? I recently read and reviewed The Chaos Principle, And the whole time I was reading this book, it was reminding me of this book, and both of these are unforgettable reads, and I would highly recommend them to you. There's a lot for you to think on as you read. Yeah, so just get ready to have your brains get a massage by these two. And so with that, we have reached the end of the Think Twice book tag. I really enjoyed the prompts for this one. They're very different. It was a lot of fun. It made me take a good, long, hard look at my shelves. It has made me want to reread many of these books because they're favorites. They're books that I have actually already reread some of these, and some I'm planning to reread this year. So if you're a content creator and you want to do this tag, please do that and let me know so I can take a look. But if you're not a content creator and you would like to share your answers to the prompts, feel free to do that down in the comments below. I would absolutely love to see your answers. Thank you all so much for watching. I enjoyed making this, and if you enjoyed watching it, don't forget to hit that like button. If you would like to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next one.